guys, I'm Caitlin. I decided for my first video for you guys that I would do a bookshelf tour. Now I have quite a few books. I have this big shelf, I've got a small shelf here, a small shelf over there, and a small shelf over there. So I have a lot of books. Not all of them are mine, some of them are my sister's. So when I show you, I'll let you know what I have and have not read. But I decided just to make this as my first one because I thought, why not? It would be nice to see what books I have, and I love watching bookshelf tours, so I thought I would do one for you guys. Now, these and these are in alphabetical order by the last name of the author, and those two over there I have not gotten to yet. So I'll probably do an updated tour in a few months maybe and put those in the right place. Now, because I do have a lot of books, this may be a two-part video. I'm not sure. So you may or may not get two videos for this. So let's go ahead and get on into the books. So the first thing on the shelf is this, and we have Awana at our church and we do the Grand Prix, so this was my sister's car from who knows when. And the first book I have in the shelf is the Samantha collection of the American Girl dolls. Yes, I'm 24 years old and I still read these because they're just very good. This is one of my sister's books, Bad Girls Don't Die by Katie Allender. Don't really know what that one's about. The next two books are part of a little kind of, I wouldn't say if it were a series or not, it was like a book and a sequel by Carol Alt. This year's Model, and then Model Incorporated. So it's just about this girl who becomes a model and just what she has to go through to be in the business pretty much. And I feel like, it says she was the author was on Celebrity Apprentice. I don't watch that show, but that's kind of cool. I have Peaches by Jodi Lynn Anderson. This I thought was a pretty good book. It's just like Southern, and I mean, I read it years ago. A lot of these books I read a long time ago, so I probably can't tell you everything about it. Next book I have, I'm pretty sure, I think this was my sister's book. I can't remember. The Poison Apples by Lily Archer. I don't know. The next three books I know are my sister's, and I know I probably should read them because everybody talks about how good they are. But it's The Summoning, The Awakening, and The Reckoning by Kelly Armstrong. I actually just watched a bookshelf tour that had this on there, and I'm like, I should probably read those, but I haven't. The next two books, or maybe three books? No, two books. Confessions of a Teen Nanny, and then Rich Girls, also Confessions of a Teen Nanny by Victoria Ashton. Again, don't remember much about this book. I'm so bad at this. I'm sorry, guys. A Girl Like Moi. The Fashion Forward Adventures of Imogene by Lisa Barham. I think a lot of these books I probably got when I was in like middle school or high school, so that's why I don't really remember them. Dream Factory by Brad Barkley and Heather Hepler. Did I even read this book? Yes. It's about when the character actors at Disney World go on a strike and their teens are hired to take their place. And I only remember that because I just looked inside. Face Value, a America's Next Top Model book. Really, I just picked this up at the store because I was really into this show and I saw it at Barnes & Noble and just picked it up. Thought I had the other ones. Apparently I don't. But it's by Taryn Bell. Next, Forever in Blue, the fourth summer of the sisterhood, and from Anne Brashears, I don't know. It's just from Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. I thought I had the other ones of those as well, but apparently I don't. The Seven Rays. Now this one I'm sure is my sister's because she always read all these books before I did, but this one is written by Jessica Bendinger. And the writer Bring It On and Stick It. The Carrie Diaries by Candace Bushnell. I'm probably butchering all these names. Meet Carrie Before Sex in the City. And I have read this book and I really, really, really liked it. And I'm pretty sure I have the paperback version with Anna Sophia Robb on the cover upstairs on my to be read shelf to reread it. Now, all of these and then a couple down on the next shelf, I love this series. And it's the Private series by Kate Bryan. So there's Private, Invitation Only, I won't pull them all out, Untouchable, they're all pretty much just girls on the cover, Confessions, Inner Circle, Legacy, Ambition, Revelation, Last Christmas is a prequel, then there's Suspicion, Scandal, Vanished, another prequel, The Book of Spells, and this is like prequel to the prequel, like this is where it all started. Then she wrote a spin-off series about one of the characters from Private, and the first one is Privilege, and the second one is Beautiful Disaster. So before I move on, here is my car. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it was duct tape. There's a scale on the back. I am very proud of this car because I actually won something. I didn't normally win. Okay, and then I have our awards. So first place for design, third for speed, third for design, and first for speed. And then I'm going to move all these. These are just the weights that were on the bottom of the car. Okay, now back to the books. Here are the last two in that series, Perfect Mistake and Sweet Deceit. And then there was this book, Xmas, A Love-Hate Story. It's just from the author, Kate Bryan, of Private, but it's not based on the Private books. Also a very good book. Princess of Gossip, Sabrina Bryan from the Cheetah Girls. I think that was the only reason, pretty much, that I bought the book, because I was obsessed with the Cheetah Girls when they first came out. Meg Cabot Airhead. Pretty sure this was my sister's. Not sure. The next few books, I know there are more to this series, but I don't have them in here. It's the Secrets of My Hollywood Life series. And so there's Secrets of a Hollywood Life, Paparazzi Princess, and Broadway Lights. I think there are two more in this series, and I know I've read them. And I think there was a movie based on this one that had JoJo in it. It was a Lifetime movie, but I enjoyed that series. The junior novel of Camp Rock. As you can see, I don't get rid of books. I have books from when I was a lot younger in here. Here is The Sloane Sisters, a novel by Anna Carey, and then Survival of the Fiercest. That's the second one. I think it's about it's like parents get married and there's two girls from one family and two from the other. There is The Cinderella Society by Kay Cassidy. A Little Bit Wicked by Kristen Chenoweth. And I bought this because I went and saw Wicked. She wasn't in it, but I went and saw Wicked and I just thought it was amazing and she is hilarious. I have these from a super, super long time ago, Flirt. These are books number 3 and number 5. They're both by Nicole Clark. I have The Boys of Winter, and it's by Wayne Coffey with a foreword by Jim Craig. This is about the 1970 hockey team U.S. Not 70, I'm sorry. My sister just pointed it out. 1980. I can't read, apparently. So it's just about the that 1980s men's hockey team who beat the Soviet Union. It's got a foreword by Jim Craig, which I'm pretty sure was the goalie. I am not sure. I just remember reading this book and crying like at the whole beginning because it was about the coach's funeral. Miley Cyrus, Miles to Go. The A-List by Zoe Dean. Privileged by Zoe Dean as well. And I got this because I watched the show because I love Lucy Hale. So I got that to read it. And I thought it was pretty good and was sad that the show didn't last very long. The Truth About Forever by Sarah Dessen. This is my sister's book. I have not read it.
I haven't either.
My sister apparently hasn't read it either. So apparently we bought it and nobody read it. I've got The Ashleys by Melissa Delacruz. I love her as an author. I really need to pick up more of her books. So I have The Ashleys, Birthday Vicious, and Lip Gloss Jungle. The first book in the Spiderwick... the first book in the Spiderwick Chronicles by Toni DiTerlizzi and Holly Black. I probably just butchered that name. There's a little mini story, I guess. A special edition of the Spiderwick Chronicles. I have The Secret Diary of Ashley Juergens. Got that because I loved Secret Life of the American Teenager. The Lonely Hearts Club by Elizabeth Eulberg. I did read this. Don't remember anything. I'm really, really bad at this. I keep saying that, but it's been so long since I've read a lot of these books. Here's the first 3 in a series that I have. The rest are on the next shelf. I love this series, A Life of Faith. It's a religious series. This is Elsie Dinsmore, and I actually have the dolls upstairs in my room for all of these, but there's Elsie's in the Slate, Elsie's Impossible Choice, and Elsie's New Life. This is based on this classic by Martha Finley, which I'm actually trying to read the originals, but there's like 28 books, so there's a lot of those. The rest of the books, there are 8 books in all for 3 of the series, and then there's 2 other ones that there's only a little bit. Elsie's Stolen Heart, Elsie's True Love, Elsie's Troubled Times, Elsie's Tender Mercies, and Elsie's Great Hope. Then we have the Millie books, also based on Martha Finley. I'm not going to show all of them, but there's Millie. Oh, that's book 2. Do I have... I don't know where book 1 is. But book 2 is Millie's Courageous Days. Let me see if it tells me. Millie's Unsettled Season. So that was book 1. Then there's Millie's Courageous Days, Remarkable Journey, Faithful Heart, Steadfast Love, Grand Adventure, Reluctant Sacrifice, and Fiery Trial. I do not think I've read all of these books. I know my sister has, but I think I have, but I'm not sure. Then we have the Violet books, and this is Violet Travilla. It is actually Elsie's daughter. So we have Hidden Doubts, Amazing Summer, Turning Point, Bold Mission, Perplexing Puzzles, Bumpy Ride, Defiant Daughter, and Foreign Intrigue. So then here's just one of them so you can see the cover. So they're all pretty much similar. They all say Life of Faith, have the name and the initials, and then just say that. So that's also based on Martha Finley's books. The next book I have is Beastly by Alex Flynn. And yes, it does say read it before you see it. Major motion picture. I think I actually saw the movie before I read it, but I thought it was okay. It wasn't one of my favorites. I have The Duchess by Amanda Foreman. I love historical books based on people based in historic times. This was originally published as Georgiana, Duchess of Devonshire, and that's who Keira Knightley plays. So I actually did read this before I saw the movie, and I remember going to see the movie, and I was the only one who knew anything about it. So I have that. Inkheart by Cornelia Funk. This guy I think is so creepy, but I loved this book and the movie, and this girl looks super familiar, and now I want to know who she is. So I need to figure that out. My sister's going to look it up for me. Multiple Blessings by John and Kate Goslin and Beth Carson. So this is just about the Goslin families before the divorce. Now on to one of my favorite books ever, Soul Surfer by Bethany Hamilton. This is an amazing movie and book. Her story is fantastic. There's pictures in here. If you have not read this, you need to, because it's amazing. The next book, another Life of Faith book. This is Laylee's Daring Quest. This is the only book in this character's story, and it's by Kirsten Hamilton. It's over here, again, by author, instead of over here is A Life of Faith.
She worked for one of them. Millie, I think.
She did. Yes.
I do know book stuff.
What?
I do know stuff about
She
books.
does know stuff. Sorry. I'm going to just talk to my sister throughout this thing too. She was a slave. It was her and her brother. And I don't think she actually worked for Millie. I think Millie just helped her escape. But Millie does come into the story. The next books that I have are the first part of the Click series by Lacey, I think is her name. Yes, Lacey Harrison. She created and developed shows for MTV, but I love the titles of these books because they're all like based on other things, but they're changed a bit. We have the Click. We have Best Friends for Never. We have Revenge of the Wannabes. I love the colors on these. They're all different as well. Invasion of the Boy Snatchers. The Pretty Committee Strikes Back. Dial L for Loser. It's Not Easy Being Mean. Sealed with a Diss. And then I love this title. Bratfest at Tiffany's. Because I love Breakfast at Tiffany's, so I love the play on that story, or on that title. None of these are really like based on that, whatever the title is. So like Dial L for Loser instead of Dial M for Murder. It's not really anything to do with it. It's just the title. The rest of the Lacey Harrison books. So there was a book, and it was the summer collection. There was one for each of the girls in the series. So there's Alicia, Claire, Dylan, my favorite character, Kristen, and Massey.
Is it Massey or Macy?
I think it's Massey.
Okay, sorry.
I think it's Massey.
Okay.
P.S. I Loathe You, Boys R Us. Then this is a prequel, so it's Charmed and Dangerous, The Rise of the Pretty Committee. So that's, I think, when they first just like met and got started. These boots are made for stalking, and My Little Phony. She did, not really, it's kind of a spin-off series, and it had, I'm not sure if it was a spin-off series or not, but it was the Alphas series. So there was Alphas, Movers and Fakers, and Belle of the Brawl. She also wrote the Monster High books. I've only read this book of the series. Then we have Kiss Me, Kill Me by Laura Henderson. Kissing Annabelle by Stephen Herrick. The Morning Gift by Eva Ibbotson. Two of the books from the Nancy Drew series. This is another series that I do want to read the entire thing. We have Secret of the Old Clock and The Hidden Staircase. The Other Worlds by Jennifer Ann Kogler. This I know is my sister's book.
Yep.
This is the last of the Life of Faith series. This is one I wished there were more to. This is Kathleen. So we have Kathleen's Shaken Dreams. Unforgettable Winter, and Abiding Hope. And I'm pretty sure she lived during...
There's a fourth one.
Is there a fourth one?
Yeah.
Oh.
We don't have it.
She lived during, I'm pretty sure during the Great Depression. So, we have the entire Chronicles of Narnia. So, that is one book I think I've read. Sorry, if I'm in the picture, I gotta sit down. Am I in it?
Mm-mm.
Okay. We have the, I'm pretty sure this is the entire series. I hope it is, because it's a big old book. Yep. Contents. The entire series. This is one I know I have read multiple times. I just love the series, love the books. I actually have, my next book is Voyage of the Dawn Treader. I love all these characters, and I love the fact that this is the guy that plays Gally in The Maze Runner. I think that's really cool. I have the first book in the I Am Number 4 by Pittacus Lore. I have read more of these. I do want to finish the series. So they're not here. I know I have, they're probably over in a box over there that I haven't put out, but I know I have one. I need to buy the rest of them. The Season by Sarah McLean. This is one I totally wish there was more to. I don't know if there is. Here is Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West. Again, love Wicked. That's why I bought this, by Gregory Maguire. These are my sister's books, Poser, I'm sorry. We have Poser and then The Good, the Fab, and the Ugly, both by Rachel Maud. This is probably a super long video, and I'm just rambling. Again, first video, gotta get used to it. Start of all my Twilight books. I have the graphic novel, the first volume. So, I thought this one was kind of cool. I'm normally not a fan of graphic novels, but I just wanted to see how they had made it, how they would make it into a graphic novel, which is why I got it. I have the director's notebook. So the story of how they made it. It's by Catherine Hardwicke. I have the first Twilight book with this cover on it. When these movies came out, I probably went out and bought every single one of them with all the different covers. Last shelf on this tall one, I see I told you got a lot of books. I have Twilight with this cover. Then I have 3 copies of New Moon. The original cover, the cover with Jacob and Bella, and the cover with all 3 of them on it. Then I have Eclipse, the hardback regular cover, and then that cover. Apparently don't have Breaking Dawn in here, but I do have it. Here's How to Walk in High Heels, A Girl's Guide to Everything by Camilla Morton. Bras and Broomsticks by Sarah Milnowski. Laguna Cove by Allison Noel. These are my sisters, Evermore, Blue Moon, and Shadowland, all by Allison Noel. Or Noel, I think it's Noel. These are my sister's books.
There you go.
We have Maximum Ride, School's Out Forever. Then we have the Fugitives part of it. So Maximum Ride, Fugitives, the Angel Experiment. Is that what it is? Angel Experiment, yeah. The School's Out Forever. And Saving the World and Other Extreme Sports. I love the titles of those. Then we have The Protectors, number 1, The Final Warning. Then we have Max and Fang.
There are more, but there's not down here.
Yes, there are more. I have Kingdom Keepers by Ridley Pearson. I have read this book. I love Disney World, so I bought this on, I think, our first trip to Disney World. I do have it upstairs in paperback on my to-be-read shelf because I want to read it again. Because I'm pretty sure there are more to that series. Here I have Dead is So Last Year and Dead is a State of Mind by Marlene Perez.